If you feel like hanging out virtually, show your face. Hey, Rachel. Hey, Missy. If you don't want to, I understand. Clearly, I didn't put a lot of effort into this, but that's okay. It's the stage I'm at in life. Definitely in pajama pants at the bottom with slippers. So, but I'm coming to you tonight talking about immune support for kids from a very fresh perspective of taking care of my own children and and coming to you with just experience. I feel like and sorry, I'm like a little bit distracted with these messages I'm getting right now. This is very needed. If you feel like you've been hit with sickness after sickness, this is a culmination of almost 3 years of sanitizing everything and wearing masks. And we're dealing with super bugs, people. I keep reading it from doctors and nurses that this is it's different right now. And so you're not doing anything wrong. It is the season we're walking in right now, but I hope that in the next 15-20 minutes that you feel empowered to take care of your children from home and to really know what preventative measures you can take at home. Sickness is a part of life. It builds our immune systems. It's not something to be feared. I know it's never fun. It makes life hard, especially when several children are sick in the family. But I really try to just speak life over it, that your immune system is getting really strong, and that's great. And this is part of that. I do want to say, though, that I'm 33 years old. I've never had an antibiotic in my life, and my children, so far, they're 4 and 2 and 3 months, and they've never had an antibiotic in their life. And I feel like that is rare these days because they're given out just like candy. And not to say that if we needed one, we wouldn't take one. I absolutely would. We just haven't, praise the Lord, but we haven't needed that because I believe the things that we do at home, the preventative measures that we take are good enough. And that's not saying that we don't get sick. We do. We just went through, I believe, was the crud, even my 3-month-old, no fever or anything like that, just lots of snot, lots of mucus, lots of response to the weather changing. So I know each week, by the way, this is, if you're new here, this is our Monday wellness call. Every week is a different topic. I hit it off in the beginning of this month with winter wellness, which I believe this is like a version of that, but for children. Obviously, this is going to be good for year-round information, but I think especially right now, I am recording it. So feel free to share this with mamas or, parents that are needing some extra tools in the toolbox. But I call this a speed dating session. This is like as much as I can say in 15 minutes. I'm not going into a deep dive into each product, each ingredient. This is just enough to get you hopefully curious to research some more stuff. So what I want to do is just tell you some of the things that we do, some of the products that we have with Young Living, even some things that we have outside of Young Living, and just some preventative or some things that we do take in our home, or things that we do in our home to boost our immune systems. So first thing I want to go through, and I don't have a fancy slideshow or anything like that tonight, but I want to show you some things on Young Living's website. So I have this awesome book that I had gotten when I started naturopathic doctor school forever ago, and I still haven't finished, but that's okay. But one of the books I read was called Staying Healthy Through the Seasons. And basically it boils down sickness to 2 things. It's either going to be an exposure to something toxic or a deficiency in something that your body needs. It's going to be boiled down to one of those 2 things, right? So as the gatekeepers of our home, as far as eliminating toxins, we can take control in that area. That doesn't mean that we don't leave our house and we're not exposed to things outside of the house. That's not to say we don't bring home things, but as far as doing something small in protecting your children's immune systems, but actually massive, is getting rid of toxic cleaners and toxic products. This is a whole class in and of itself that I'm not doing tonight, but one thing that you can do that can kind of open your eyes to this is you can download an app. It's the EWG app. environmental working group app. And there's a barcode scanner. You can take a product in your kitchen, in your bathroom, and you can scan it, and it's going to pop up and tell you if that product is safe or not. That's crazy, right? Like the fact that we can go to the store and buy things that could potentially cause hormonal issues, respiratory issues, potentially be cancer causing, potentially be cause reproductive issues. That's crazy that we can't even buy that, but we can. And so we have to take this into our own hands. That's one easy step, is just download the app and start looking at some of the products in your home. Again, this is not a toxin-free living class, but I feel like I have to mention that it's possible that the things in your home are lowering your kids' immune systems, that's making them susceptible to sickness, right? By lowering your immune system, the things that you're putting on your kids. Candles is one of the worst things you can have going in your home with synthetic fragrance. On the opposite side, there's things that we can do to boost the good, right? To have like a strong gut flora, to have a strong immune system, so that when we are exposed to things, because we're going to be exposed to things, we have a better defense against them and a stronger defense against them. I will say too, that food is medicine. And this, again, I feel like I could talk for like 45 minutes on this, but I never want to like just say, oh, oils and supplements, that's like a Band-Aid. Food is first. Food is medicine first. We have to redefine healthy snacks. Today, Koa was asking me for a snack, and his options were like an apple, an orange, and like a string cheese. And he was like, I want a bar. I want chips. And I was like, nope, these are your choices. I was like, or seaweed. Which one? He went with the seaweed. But having healthy snacks going to help their immune system so much, obviously, or maybe not obviously, you don't know, but maybe you do. Sugar is a huge punch to the immune system. And so we do sugar, white processed sugar, very sparingly. I have to actually look in bars and see if sugars are added to kid bars and things like that. So again, not, a whole class on that tonight, but I feel like those two things right there are two huge things, like the biggest things that you can do for your family. So, hi, I see a cute little kid waving in. Hi, cutie. Okay, so I was reading a lot about minerals today. So we are bioelectrical beings, and I think we overtalk vitamins and supplements when we should focus a lot on minerals, mineral deficiency. 97% of our body is comprised of minerals. Gary Price Todd, he's a medical doctor, says the human body needs at least 60 trace minerals in order to maintain a disease and ailment-free state. Back in the day, minerals in soil would have contained like approximately 80 minerals in soil with food. And now it's, I think, on average, foods that are raised or purchased today contain like no more than 15 minerals. So we are very deficient in our average diet. Like chances are you're not growing your own food in your mineral rich soil, right? So mineral supplementation is massive. There's a lot of minerals out there. The one I'll share my screen real quick. I've got a few things pulled up, but let me see. Let me know if y'all can see this. Oh, that's my group. Hang on, let me move it. Okay, so Young Living makes mineral essence. Can you guys see this? Okay, so if you just scroll down, this is on Young Living's website, and you click, I already clicked it, but read more by the ingredients, you can see it's showing that it contains magnesium, chloride, and sodium, which are great. They actually derive their minerals naturally from the Great Salt Lake, which is really cool. If you've ever tried mineral essence, I'm not going to tell you that it tastes good. That would be a lie. It tastes like butt. Some people like it. The way that I take it is in a shot of Ningxia Red, which I'll talk about next. It's whatever, it's quick, it's done, I take a shot. I can hide it in my kids' smoothies. I can put it in their bath water. You can take it in a capsule. You can get very creative. You can do a foot soak, because it's going to get through your bloodstream, through your skin. So things you put on your skin, if you don't know, they get into your bloodstream. So mineral essence, a lot of ways that we can get the goodness in our bodies. So that's just a few minerals though, right? So I mentioned magnesium, chloride, and sodium. I also personally really like this brand, Jigsaw Health. They make a adrenal cocktail, and this one contains potassium and vitamin C, whole food based vitamin C. So I personally like those two things every single day. for me and my children. There's another brand called It's Needed. There's a lot of different mineral options out there. It's Needed. I pulled up theirs just to take a look at their ingredients. And that also contains magnesium, chloride, sodium, and potassium and trace minerals. You can also make your own. You can make your own adrenal cocktail. This is a great website right here. I can actually put this in the chat. But this is basically orange juice, sea salt or Himalayan pink salt, coconut water, because you want electrolytes too. Electrolytes and minerals are huge. This calls for all sorts of things: cream of powder, cream of tartar, collagen powder, coconut cream, aloe vera juice, vitamin C powder. You don't have to go all fancy with that. Those are just some examples. So I felt like that was really important to mention is mineral essence. Okay, another huge thing, if you're brand new here, we just last week did an intro to oils class. And so I'm not going into like tonight, what are oils and all that, but I will just mention, I'm trying to find this, if I can search. Young Living makes an entire line called the Kids Sense line, which is basically kid-friendly, pre-diluted, ready to go. This is not letting me scroll down. Oils, essential oils. And again, let me see if it'll let me do it this way. Hold on, I need to stop sharing and then I need to pull it up. Hang on one second. So this line contains oils as well as a few vitamins. I'll share with you the ones that my kids take every day. Let's see. So, and there's a couple of ways that you can use. I don't know why this isn't working for me. The Kids Sense rollers, I think, are the way to go. Where is it? There it is. Okay. As far as easy application, but you can also get them without the rollers. These target several body systems. So you've got the tummy jives, which is your digestive support. Like I said, pre-diluted, ready to go, easy to travel with. Sniffle Ease, we have been using like crazy. I've been using it on my baby since she was 4 weeks old. The first sign of sniffles, I put it on her chest, on her feet. You can, of course, always dilute more with like an organic carrier, like a coconut oil. I find that they're gentle and I have had no skin reactions with any of my kids. Of course, everyone's skin is different. So dilute as much as you need to. Diluting does not take away the potency of the oil, but you might just want to use that oil a little bit more frequently. It's going to take a little bit longer to digest and to get into the skin. Owie, obviously, some of these are obvious, but Owie is going to be for like wounds and even open wounds and bruising. Kid Power is more of an emotional kind of tantrumy one. Genius is for brain and focus. Sleepy Eyes is for sleep and calming, obviously. Okay, so those are some of the oils, but I love those because they're pre-diluted and ready to go. So we have those on hand. Ningxia Red is not a luxury. I can't stand it when people are like, oh, I wish I could afford that. And I just want to say, do whatever you can to put Ningxia in your budget. Whatever you have to give up. This is a staple for a lot of reasons, but it's delicious. It's easy for kids to drink. I've been putting it in. Emerson got Ningxia Red as a newborn, a tablespoon of it in her bottle. Emerson we adopted from birth, and when I wasn't able to source breast milk, I made my own formula with goat milk, and I put Ningxia in there. So like I'm talking little babies, just a tiny bit, but the way that you can drink it straight up, you can add your mineral essence to it. You can make a concoction. You can add it to smoothies. You can buy it. If you don't buy it in the bottles and you buy it in the packets, you can throw those in the freezer and it's a popsicle. There's so many ways, but this is high antioxidants. You know, antioxidants, the benefits of those, obviously for immune system and for lowering inflammation, really supports every single body system. Immune system. Oh, Greta said, oh, you're talking about mineral essence. You said you put it in kombucha. Smart. Kombucha, Ningxia, mineral essence, that would be the most amazing cocktail. But this is something that is a preventative for us. Like we just drink our 2 ounces a day, but then as needed, if we're hit with something, if we're exposed to something, if we're traveling, if we had sugar, all those reasons, we have more, we drink more as we need. So that is something I never want to run out of. There's a couple of vitamins that Young Living carries for kids, not like a ton. I'm still sharing my screen, right? Mighty Zymes is an enzyme. This is wonderful for supporting the gut, which in turn supports the immune system. It's something that's a very soft powder. So I've even crushed this up and just dipped my clean pinky and put it in my baby's mouth, even when they're teething. Mighty Zymes is also part of this line. This is like your multivitamin, and it's a chewable tablet. The other one I wanted to mention here is this one right here called Mighty Pro. It's going to pop up. And my kids call this candy. It's like a dessert. It's like a little, think of like a pixie stick. What is that? What is that candy called? Do y'all know what I'm talking about? You open it. No, you open it up and it's like powdery, but it's delicious and they love it. So this contains pre and probiotics. It's got over 8 billion active live cultures. Really easy way to get gut support right here because it just tastes so, so good. One more Young Living thing I wanted to mention is the Thieves Chest Rub. This is really potent, kind of over the counter. If you're dealing with like really little kids, you can put it on their feet and you don't have to put it on their chest. But this is something, especially for the wintertime, that we want to have on hand. So great for coughs and colds and things like that. There's a bunch of things, but I'm trying to just to keep it brief and highlight for you just the most important things. Non-Young Living products that we carry, we use colloidal silver. This is all for preventative or extra if needed. Anytime my kids have a runny nose, I do preventatively garlic eardrops because I know when they're sleeping that those sinuses, like their nose, it could potentially cause an ear infection if the mucus is draining throughout the night and gets to their ears. So preventatively, and we've never, as far as I know, have had an ear infection like ever. And so that's something that I do anytime they get like a little snotty nose is ear drops. You can make your own garlic drops by sauteing garlic and olive oil, or you can buy pre-made ones. I also do purification around the ears and copaiba around the ears. Okay, some other things we do. I actually really like, there's this brand M-A-T-Y, Maddie's brand. I know Whole Foods carries it, but they have a great cough syrup for both infants and toddlers. Again, if you look at the ingredients, they're all foods. It's like 5-6 ingredients. You could make your own, or you could just buy the pre-made, but Maddie's brand is really great for that type of thing, cough syrups. We see a chiropractor every single week, and I think this is a huge preventative thing for our family, and even more as needed. You can look into chiropractic care and look up the research for how it affects the immune system and how it helps with so many different things, including earaches, including constipation. So chiropractic adjustments is something, if you don't already do regularly, I would look into that. Sometimes insurances can cover it as well. Homeopathics are also a really great, gentle, easy tool to have on hand. I just recently took Harvest. She's only 3 months old, but when she was like 6 weeks old, she was 8 weeks old. She was getting some snot and some like weepy eye stuff. And so I took her to our naturopathic doctor to do a little scan, and she actually just pulled for teething, which was great. She didn't pull for any viruses or bacteria, but she pulled for teething, which was lowering her immune system and all sorts of things, right? So she recommended a few homeopathics that were specifically, one was for colds and weepy eyes, and one was for inflammation and teething. The one for weepy eyes is called calcium sulfur, and we did the 6X, which is really, really, really gentle. It's the cell salt one that you could actually put in their mouth and it dissolves. And then for the colds, that one's called calcium fluoride, and that's also the 6X. There's a ton of homeopathics out there. This is not a homeopathic class, but those two in particular, I feel like are really helpful. Detox baths. I feel like I'm going a million miles an hour. Are you guys following? Here's another tool that we use. If we're hit with something, if we're exposed to something, detox baths. Can't even do too much of this. This is going to speed up the healing process. You do Epsom salts, you can do hydrogen peroxide, you can do baking soda. We usually do lemon oil. We usually do copaiba. We usually do rosemary and apple cider vinegar. The Epsom salts are key. If you put all that in a bath, it's going to burn their skin. The Epsom salts are going to make sure that it all dissolves and that it's gentle. You can do your at home breathing treatments. So I know like several people who have ended up in the ER with toddlers and infants recently for like stridor and RSV and croup and things like that. The ER told them, hey, next time put your kid's head in the freezer, get them exposed to cold air. So that's interesting. We don't even have cold air outside anymore. But last week when we did, I made sure to bundle everyone up and go outside and take some walks, not trying to get them cold. I'm not trying to give them pneumonia or anything, but getting their breathing exposed to that. And then sometimes if they're congested, but they're not dealing with any of those things I just mentioned, like a cold, we do breathing treatments in the steam shower. We go in the bathroom, we create a steam shower, we block off. I talked about this at Winter Wellness. We blocked off the bottom of the door with like a towel, and we get the diffusers going. Oils like RC, oils like Raven, gentle oils for babies would be like lavender, lemon, copaiba, frankincense. And we just let them sit in there for like 10-15 minutes, and I'll sit in there with them and we'll breathe it in. And then I'll kind of do like chest compressions or like back, like kind of breaking up the mucus on their back. And then if you have a baby, you probably know what a nose Frida is, but that's where you literally suck the snot out of their nose, and no, it doesn't go in your mouth. There's like a whole filter, but that is absolutely essential after you do a breathing treatment in the bathroom. If you're doing a steam shower, all that mucus is going to break up and become super liquid. And so the nose Frida comes in handy. It's kind of like a bulb syringe. And that's great for kids who are not old enough to blow their own nose. Harvest, like I said, she just turned 3 months old. She's already had her own mini raindrop. So I do a mini diluted raindrop. This is something, if you don't know what this is, I would get this kit. This is the most cost efficient way to do a raindrop. For babies and children, I'm talking a drop. I do a drop of oil. Their feet are already diluted. I don't even do it on their spine. I'm just doing it on their feet. And I do 1 drop of each oil. As they get older, the protocol is really for like an adult, it's 6 to 8 drops of an oil per foot without dilution, and then also on the spine. So it is a lot more for adults. So if you get a raindrop kit and you're doing like a full raindrop for an adult, I believe it's like 8 raindrops worth in there. So if you're doing this just for kids, that's going to last you so long. Also, you can just find on Amazon like a portable nebulizer, but we also use this. We do breathing treatments at home with colloidal silver, like the medical grade iodine. Mary Ruth carries that, and food grade hydrogen peroxide. We bought that in 2020 when all that stuff was going around, and that's been a great tool. There's all sorts of things I could mention. I know that's already kind of a lot. What I'm going to do though, let me stop sharing if you're listening in the chat, and I'll be sure to share this in when I share the recording, but this is a longer version of this class. Sorry, let me grab it. I did a holistic treatment, like whole teaching. I think it's it's like 90 minutes long. And I'm going to share that with y'all here. It's a lot more in depth of homeopathics and herbs and things, but there it is in the chat. It's at my website, which is reachfortheapex.com. And if you go to the shop, it's called the Empowered Motherhood series. But I hope this helps. I feel like that was kind of a lot, just some of the practical tools that we keep in our home, things that we do at home. Really it's about consistency, like if we're dealing with something, I don't just give my kids like a vitamin and call it a day. It's like, no, I'm going to rub this oil on your feet every hour for this entire day. Like it's a lot of work. But at the end of the day, you get rid of things faster. You're supporting their body's natural ability to heal. You're not masking a symptom. I don't know if any other parents do this, but Young Living carries an adult supplement. Okay. This is for adults. It's called ImmuPro. It's got like 4 milligrams of melatonin, which kids can absolutely overdose on melatonin. So it's not something to like play around with. It's very powerful for immune support while you're sleeping. Sleep is the best way to get people well, right? And so I know like I've had some nights where my kids are just uncomfortable and they're not sleeping. And I'm like, you need to sleep. You're not going to get better if you don't sleep. So I will cut that ImmuPro into like an eighth, which is like, it looks like nothing, and it gives them the best night's sleep. And I know it's supporting their immune system while they're sleeping too. So that's a little hack. be careful, don't overdose the melatonin. But it's not just a sleep supplement, it's also immune support. So I think I covered everything. Ningxia, electrolytes, minerals, and then all those great little extra tools that we have. I don't know about you, but like my kids are little, they're 4 and 2. They don't take, capsules yet or anything, although Koa did bite into an inner defense the other day. And I was like, wow, that sucks, but also awesome for you. But smoothies is a really, really great way to hide things. And actually, I don't know if my friend Casey's on here, but I pulled this recipe from her, but she does an immune smoothie, which is wild blueberries, bananas, which is great in potassium and antioxidants, colloidal silver, ningxia, elderberry tincture, orange juice, and she throws in frozen breast milk. Go, Casey. All right, y'all. I hope that helped. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. But thank you for being here. Spread the goodness. We need to help empower some other parents to take care of their kids and get some of these tools ready to go. That's the worst thing, is when you need something and you don't already have it in your house. So I hope that helps somebody.